Security preparations and planning for Friday's inauguration have been underway for months. Members of the Army band stood in for the president-elect and the future First Lady yesterday at a mock swearing-in ceremony. Military members marched in front of the Capitol and down Independence Avenue to work out final details before the big event. Jeff Pegues is on the National Mall where security trailers and barricades are being set up for the 58th presidential inauguration. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. Washington is going to look like a fortress this week. Look at all this fencing they've already set up, and there is more to come. Policing inaugurations is a difficult task every time it happens, but this year is going to be especially different because of the complex web of potential threats out there. Add to that the fact that a number of protest groups have applied for permits, 25, which according to the National Park Service is 5 times what they typically see. Pennsylvania Avenue is being transformed for the inauguration, as is security around the nation's capital. The Department of Homeland Security is expecting close to 1 million people in the streets of Washington. So, can you see all of Washington from this room?
We can see a lot of Washington from this room.
Executive Assistant Director of the FBI, Paula Bate, will be watching from this inauguration command center with representatives from several different agencies. There are dozens of television screens with different angles of the city, street and aerial views, as well as traffic flow. They want everything covered.
We're facing a more complex threat environment.
In what way?
Just in terms of the types of attacks that have occurred, things we've seen happen here in the United States and around the world.
The attacks in Paris, Belgium, and San Bernardino haunt law enforcement officials planning for this type of large event. The incidents show that terrorist organizations are capable of large-scale coordinated attacks or smaller lone wolf incidents that have been inspired by ISIS or al-Qaeda. Bate says security planners for the inauguration can't rule anything out.
We work hard every day, 24/7, not just during inauguration, but on every day, even today, to stop things like that from happening.
You can have unpredictable crowds.
Former Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff, who led security efforts for inauguration ceremonies in 2009 when President Obama was sworn into office, says terrorism isn't the only concern.
Protesters always create a challenge, particularly because they can be a distraction.
Over 350,000 demonstrators are expected in the streets. Helping to keep the peace will be nearly 30,000 law enforcement officials deployed throughout the city by Friday, including 3,200 police officers from departments across the country and about 8,000 members of the National Guard. Cyber attacks are another concern for security officials. The Secret Service will be tracking potential threats online that could disrupt the inauguration, but officials say there are no specific or credible threats to the event. Charlie.
Jeff, thank you so much.